explorers. I'm excited for you to join me on another episode. It's been a while for me. It must have been about 4 months or something since I've been on a video. Shane's been riding solo for a little bit, and there's a reason for that. I think he fix up the camera a little bit there. I think he mentioned on his last episode that I've moved to New Zealand.
Yep.
That's right. I jumped across the ditch for work. Been working pretty flat out, so Shane's done the best as he could. He's got his new Navara, so he's been doing a couple of short trips. But now I'm glad to be back on the camera and share some content with you. My darling mother's come over to see me for the weekend, so
keep you company.
Yeah, keep me company. So and forgive me on the pronunciations. I'm still getting used to the pronunciations over here in New Zealand. But we're ducking down to Rotorua. I know there's a lot of R rolling over here, and I can't roll my R's, so I'm not even going to try. But yeah, heading down to Rotorua, which they call it Rota Vegas. It's a little sort of tourist spot. So just for a little bit of a weekend getaway. So I thought we'd chuck the camera on and do my first video from New Zealand. So yeah, we'll spin the camera around to get a little bit of the countryside on the way down. Might stop for a couple of quick chats. It's about 2.5 hours down from Auckland to Rotorua. So and we hear it's pretty nice. We've got a few things planned, don't we?
Yes, we have.
And we're going to go do the Redwood Tree Walk, which is a big sort of rope and bridge catwalk they've got through some like 150 year old red gum trees. Yeah. I don't even know how high it was. I can't remember how high they said it. But it's way up in the treetop, so I'm really excited for that. Mum's going to get into a Zorba ball, and I'm going to push her down the hill.
Not happening.
There's a couple of cool things we can do. I might get in one just for a bit of a laugh, but we'll see how we go. There's a couple of other cool things. There's a little sky lift that you can jump on, and there's a little luge that brings you back down the hill, and we want to really sort of have a quick look. There's a spot you can go to, I think, to start learning about the Maori culture and all that sort of stuff, which is something I would definitely want to get into. So I know, sort of respect the country that I'm in and respect the culture, and I'm really starting to get into it. So it's been the hard yakka for work for the last sort of 3 months. So kudos to Shane for still sharing a bit of content. We know it's sort of been seldom, few and far between, and we won't be together for a little while. We might be planning some trips next year where I'll come back over and we probably go up the beach, or sort of get together and do a big trip with him and the kids and mum and that. But it'll probably be a little while, so going to be a little bit of a different dynamic. He'll be uploading some videos from Australia. I know he's got his new camper trailer and stuff like that. He'll probably show you. I'll be uploading some videos from New Zealand. I've been no camping for a little while. We sort of splashed out a little bit. We're staying at a Richie sort of joint this weekend. Yeah, later on when I sort of sort out a 4-drive and do some overland camping or something like that down here, I'm sure there's heaps to go see. I definitely want to get into some cray diving and stuff in the summer and that as well. But there's some people at work over here that are well into some extreme 4 driving, so might go down the South Island at some point, jump in one of their cars and show you some videos of that. But some cool things to come, I reckon. But sit back, enjoy the first shot of Explore Mode in New Zealand. Rotorua now, so we just come down on beside the lake. It's about 15 minutes away from the hotel, which is I think down at sort of the bottom of Rotorua there near the national park and that. It wasn't a bad drive, eh?
It was a beautiful drive.
It's a couple of hours, 2.5 hours. Awesome drive. Heaps of dairy farming, lots of cows, heaps of little baby bloody lambs
and yeah,
alpacas and
a few goats.
So just checked in, got the keys and packed the car up. Now we're just walking around to the back into the building to go up and find our room. It's quite an old building. It's called the Distinction Hotel, but it's quite an old building, but it looks like it's all been done up inside, so I'll give you a look as we go in.
Yep. Fancy.
Oh, there's a spa and the master. All right.
Very nice. Oh, look at all this.
All right, well, throw our gear down and muck around and get settled in, and then we'll go look around the city centre and see what we're going to have for dinner and all that sort of stuff.
Yep.
You.
We hold tight, we can chase the Mississippi through the night, hundreds of miles away. The water is warm, let's dip our toes right in and be reborn. I don't know why we'd wait. Grab some glasses and the atlas, we can prove we're smarter than a phone. Let's go where there's no reception, see if we can make it on our own.
So, because it's a thermal area, and there's sort of hot springs all around it, it's got this smell of like eggs. It's a little bit pungent. On the edge there's all steam coming out of the coming off the edge of the water and the little pools. Cameron's a laughing gas pool. There you go, Baz. Oh yeah, you can hear them bubbling up. Oh. So in that little crack there, you can actually see the water bubbling, and you can hear the water bubbling under all the surface rocks. Oh, geothermal activity. Nothing like a bit of geothermal activity. Rising hydrogen sulfide gas. Oh yeah, big sort of pools of it over here. We'll go see what else we can find. We're just driving around real quick and then saw something that caught our eye a little bit. Just a random hot spring. Oh, there's another one big down there. I think it's that Polynesian spa down there. That's pretty cool. Stinks, like that. So, we didn't do much else to start. We just had a quick drive around the point and checked out where the boardwalks are and all that sort of stuff. And then we went to Cobb & Co, which I highly recommend.
Oh, yeah.
Had a fantastic dinner.
Unreal.
Steak and what'd you have? The roast
I had roast pork.
Roast pork.
And it was a roast. It wasn't sliced.
We had some dessert too, some kiwi pavlova. And now we're just going back up the room. Relax, a couple of games footy for me to watch tonight, and then we'll big day planned tomorrow. So tune in then. Good morning, everyone.
Hello.
What a sleep. I just saying to Mum this morning, it's probably the first hotel I've slept in where the bed wasn't like a bloody plank of timber. Bloody soft, nice soft pillows, comfy. Nice soft mattress. Anyway, so we're off to get brekkie. Mum's found a nice little cafe, and then I think the plan is the Redwood Tree Walk, and then we might try to get to the skylift, and then off to the self-tour valley of volcano or something like that. I'm not too sure what it was.
The geysers.
Sorry, my research wasn't on point this morning. This afternoon, and then we'll find somewhere for dinner, and then we're going to go back and do the Redwood Tree Walk at night time. They hang all the lights up and all that sort of stuff, so
should be impressive.
Yeah, should be good. So we'll check in with you when we can, but mostly it'll just be footage of us getting around and enjoying Rotorua. So, big tick in the box for food in Rotorua.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Mum.
Oh, beautiful.
I didn't want to film too much out the front of this little restaurant thingo because there's people out the front having a feed. But it's called Urbano. So we'll get Shane to overlay the restaurant information, and Cobb and Co. We'll get him to do that for Cobb and Co.'s last night as well. But we just had like scrambled eggs on toast. I had on sourdough. Mum had on multigrain.
Yep.
And it was.
Doesn't sound much, but it was a very nice meal.
Did this little like stuff with tomato, a little bit of cheese on it, and balsamic vinegar. Oh my God, coffees were perfect. Set us up for a beautiful day. It's a little bit overcast, so the day isn't too beautiful, but we've got full bellies and we've got caffeine coursing through our veins.
Ready to do walking.
And we've got the GPS on the Redwood Tree Walk, which is only about 6 minutes out of Rotorua. So I'll keep stitching Shane up, but hopefully you can do a cool little overlay of the GPS or something, so we know where we're going from at least the city centre in Rotorua to all the places we're going. So thanks, Shane. Yeah, other than that, it's shaping up to be not a bad little trip.
Yeah.
Doesn't really do it justice how big these trees are. They are massive. I'll give one a hug later, so it gives you a little bit of a frame. You can pause that if you want to read it, but it's just about all the different sort of levels of walks and how long they take. So we might have a quick look at this and figure out which one we want to do. We're going to do the green walk because it says it's got a little bit of a lookout. It takes 1.5 hours, 4.8 k's. I think that's us. Looks like you buy tickets through here. We'll do the souvenir shop at the end, eh?
Yeah.
And Braxton might get some trinkets. So you just go into the souvenir shop or the eyesight and buy your tickets for the treetop walk. But we just found out that all of the walks are actually on the ground, so we're going to go on the green walk, and then circle back and do the treetop walk. Eh?
Yeah.
Some big trees. I've got short arms, I know, but they are some big trees. So we'll conserve a little bit of GoPro battery because I did bring the charger cord so I can plug it into the car, but we'll give you a little bit of a look at what we're sort of walking through. I can tell you now, it is so peaceful in here, hey? Like there is
air is crisp, but it smells of redwood, obviously.
Yeah, there's just like tens of thousands of redwood trees, and some of them, like the one I hugged before, I just say there must be 100, 150 years old. We'll see if I can get some information somewhere on it, and give you some information. But we'll make sure you get all the info for the actual. No, I suppose it's National Forest or something.
Yeah.
I'll give you the information for the site itself and where to book tickets and how much they cost and all that sort of stuff. But it is just so peaceful in here. I think all the denseness of all the trees must drown out a heap of sound because there's just nothing.
You can't hear anything.
Nothing but just the like little chirps of wildlife and and it's just the smell of timber. Drowning out the sulphur.
Yeah.
One thing that I'm not worried about is snakes and spiders because there's none in New Zealand. These are some whoppers. I'll give you a little bit of context. Mum, can you hold this for a sec? Monster.
Ooh, this is pretty.
Oh wow, yeah. Now we're coming into a section with some big trees. These are massive. Can't get over how huge these trees are. Some of them not so thick at the base, but just so tall and straight as an arrow all the way up to the top. Crazy. Highly recommend this walk. Little arrows show you where to go around on your different coloured tracks. See how everything in there is turning white though?
Yeah, well there was a write-up when we were over at the waterfront about the difference between it.
It's actually fairly deep.
And white, and then black is even an even stronger burn.
I don't know if you can sort of tell in the video here, but everything in under the water there, it's probably a couple of metres deep.
Very clear.
Everything down the bottom is like a frosty white colour. That's just sulphur turning it white. It's like a deafening silence.
Yeah.
And then birds chirping. So there is quite a bit above us, which is that purple and black arrows, but I'm kind of glad that the green arrow is pointing downhill because yeah, there was a lot of up in that last bit of walk.
Yeah, it was.
So we'll start trekking down. It's got a very lookouty feel to it.
Oh, look at
don't know if the GoPro does that justice, but that is a cracking view, and it is a mighty drop.
We're at the height of those trees. Yeah. And it looks like you're right. It looks like it goes back down that way.
It's just balancing there.
Yeah.
So completely out of the ground. And then just it's Kamagatsu, and it's just balancing there. And there's a couple of them.
Quite a few of them. Down there. We managed to navigate it.
Oh, bloody hell. So that was this is what we only assume is the end of the green coloured walk. I can't remember how many kilometres it was, but it was about an hour and a half, I reckon, and we're probably getting close to an hour and a half. If you're erring on the unfit side, I'd probably recommend the green one that we just did. It's just about it when you've had enough when you get to the top bit. I think it was sort of
I managed it.
I was blowing a gale, but but the other ones, the red and the purple one, I think are a little bit further up the hill, and I think one of them's about an 8-hour walk, so that's not for the faint-hearted, I don't think. But it feels like we're circling back around into the Redwood part. So all the walks are actually free. The ground walks are actually free, and the treetop walk that you buy the ticket for, you get it from the iStore, or or whatever it's called at the start there, and it covers you. Sorry, fumbling around here, so it's $74 for 2 adults, and it covers. You can come back twice in a couple of days, so because they do a nighttime tree walk, Redwood Tree Walk, which they turn all the lights on, all that sort of stuff. So we're going to come back and do that tonight. But the ground walk's free, and the actual treetop walk that we're about to circle back and go on is the one that costs you. But all in all, I think it's
well worth it. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely well worth it. I recommend it. There's a little cafe there as well and that. So, but it's a nice peaceful walk. We'll keep cracking around, see if we can find the end of this trail. Might have a breather and a drink, and then go to the treetop walk. Hey, Mum.
Yeah.
How do you get Pikachu on a bus? Your Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Just spotted in the bush here. I'm cruising. Oh, geez, he's back into the big redwoods. Mum just spotted the treetop walk. So earlier on, I mentioned that I thought it was going to be a bit higher, and Mum said it might get higher towards the end, and oh dear.
Is that high enough for you? Oh, it goes a long way.
Whoa. Those of you with the fear of heights or vertigo, or a certain brother,
Shane?
just trigger warning.
Oh, that must be a 2 or 1.
Wowzers. Hey?
No authorised access.
I reckon that
So
one.
it's a 2 or 1, I'd say.
Oh, I'm going on that one. I want to go on the kiddie course when there's an adult course. We think we may have figured out that one that goes up the tree there, and it's really high in the treetops, might be the bookings where you go up to do the flying fox. Yeah, I can see a rope cruising down.
Yeah.
So I think this might be the adventure one. There's a big swing and a flying fox and all those little bloody like rope
Oh,
net thing that
oh
you got.
my god, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah,
Too
it's
high
definitely
up
the
for
adventure
me.
one. It is so high too. Yep, there's the zip line. You might not be able to see it on the camera, but it starts over there where you go wind up the tree, and then you go all the way around to here, and at the edge of that platform there is a zip line. Where does that go? I can't even see where that goes.
It goes to this point in the back here. The landing pad.
Oh yeah, I see. And then you look.
another canopy walk.
Good eyes, Mum. So the zip line ends there on a landing pad, and you keep going up, and then there's just a cargo net that you got to crawl across. I wonder if they harness. Oh, there's a harness
Yes,
above it.
harnesses there. Caution, walkways
Yeah.
back.
And then there's a cargo net sort of rope net thing over there that looks like you harness to and crawl across. And then there's a very skinny wooden plank bridge you got to walk across. Oh, it's so high. Have to be.
I think that fell down from up there.
Someone missed the zip line. That'd have to be 20 metres in the air.
Oh, God, yeah. And it keeps going.
Looks like a bit more of a thrill-seeking one. Oh, what's this?
That's the actual.
Tallest tree high viewing platform.
Oh,
That red section.
okay.
20 metres high.
Oh, I don't know. Okay.
Yeah.
Get on up.
Hey, how
Hi,
you
how's
going?
it going?
Sorry if you're on camera a little bit.
Oh, that's fine. Hello.
Hey.
Alright, so you do get a free second walk on these tickets. I do just need a name and phone number. That's how you get back.
Tim.
Whereabouts are you guys travelling from?
Mum's from Queensland, in Australia, and I
Wow.
moved over about 3 months ago, and I'm living in Auckland.
Auckland, cool. Welcome over.
Thank you very much.
So if you'd like to come back, just give us your phone number just within the next 3 days.
Yeah, no
Cool.
worries. Awesome.
Kim will run through the rules.
Yep.
Great.
Okay, mate.
So when you go up the spiral here,
Yep.
right hand side, has a complete, the first opening, just follow that complete circle around so you start and you finish here. No more than 8 on the bridge at a time, can be passed when you pass on platform.
Yep.
We tend not to touch the bark, it does peel off in time. Major problem is it doesn't regenerate itself.
Yeah,
So that's the
we're
reason.
saying start here, end here, and about halfway around you can go onto a staircase section, and it heads up to the highest point, which is 20 metres off the ground. It goes for 100 metres. Well, there's a big.
Slices from the first redwood.
Here we go. Do you want to go first or behind?
No, you go first. Oh, my feet just tingled.
It moves a lot. Dropped about half a metre when I just stood on it.
Not a shame walkway.
No.
Oh,
You right?
yeah.
No more than 8 on the walkway at any given time, and I think I can know why. It's actually surprising how much that moves, eh?
Yes.
The oldest known specimen is about 2,200 years old. Wowzers. Just wait till these people get off before we go over.
Otherwise they may rock the boat.
I thought it was going to be stiffer. I just like leant down on it and the whole thing moved about half a metre.
Let's go. I knew it would
Walk-
rock, but it's rocking.
It is rocking. Walking over cars, driving under is an experience.
I'm not looking down, my feet tingle.
Yeah. It's actually very sturdy, like as in the suspension parts, all the cables and that are really thick. It's just because it's obviously suspended. It moves a little bit side to side and quite a fair bit down when you're walking on it.
I'm getting there. The first one was the hardest.
Yeah. The California redwoods are the tallest living trees on Earth.
Wow.
115 metres high. The tallest redwood in this forest is 72 metres. So, wow. The longer the bridges are, the more they move.
Yeah.
So the lantern things that you can see in the middle of the trees and that is for all the can't remember that bloke's name, it said on the previous ones.
David's designs.
The different lanterns are meant to mimic the when the lights are on, meant to mimic the different birds' wings. So we'll come back tonight and
The tree
See the
walk
lights.
lights have the whimsical feel of lanterns lighting a path, floating away into the distance.
we can just see over there, I'm not too sure if you can make it out, but there's people coming down the ladder on the next section. That must be coming down from the high section. About 35% GoPro battery left, so we'll just be a little bit conservative. I'm charging the car before we go to the skyline, but I'll show you as much as I can, because this is actually it's a good walk once you get used to the
Yeah, once you get used
the first bridge is a little bit ooh, but once you get used to them, they feel quite sturdy. They're just moving up and down a little bit. Big pine cone. They're the ones I'm used to. That's a big pine cone.
Oh, so different trees to the different pine cones.
So they were telling us before that to not touch the trees because of the acid in your hand, and rubs the bark off as well, and apparently the bark doesn't regenerate. So I'm just sort of looking after the trees themselves there. So we won't be touching any bark. Some more lanterns. A little bit higher.
Just a tad.
That's where we were before. And glass floor. A little bit more reinforced, this one. Steel grates and stuff. Don't drop your phone.
No, I'm going to put it away now.
It's a little,
They really want you to feel vertigo, don't
yeah,
they?
it's a little bit different when you can see through to the floor. Oh, this is a long one and it's creaking. Wonder how Shane's going to go editing this footage. Sorry, mate.
Go watching it. Oh look, there's lights that go up the road. Are these?
Yeah, the LEDs.
Yeah.
It's going to be quite a night show.
Oh, hopefully it's not raining.
Oh, it's a ball game going backwards. Yeah, that's. I don't know if it does it justice how high this is.
Yeah, it's massive. Oh, these sway too.
Back onto the normal height one. There's a group of kids, a dad and 3 or 4 kids behind us. They must be what, between 5 and maybe 8 or 9 years old, and they're just like running across everything. Like, no regard for where they are geographically or height-wise. Pre-human forest cover. How would they know? How would they know how much forest cover? Pre-human. Come on. Back to the start, the crossover. So that took us about 40 minutes.
Yep.
And we did the high section as well.
Yes, thoroughly. Yeah, we're hoping to come back tonight. Yeah, I thought it would be around all that, so it's been quite good.
Okay. We didn't do much film at the bottom because it was packed full of people, but we got the bloke to give us a bit of a photo with a massive big redwood
Slice?
a little bit of filming, but what do we think?
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
It's
So,
a definite must see.
yeah, highly recommend. The treetop walk absolutely. And then the various sort of levels of ground walk through the Redwood Forest and that, I highly recommend. Little trinket shop where the nieces and nephews and grandkids do well out of.
Yep.
But yeah, no, that was great. I reckon.
Unreal.
Good. So we won't sort of do some talking tonight. I'm not too sure how much the GoPro is going to pick up tonight, to be honest, on the treetop
Yeah.
wall. But we'll lace it over now, cut it in now with some music to show you what we can see tonight on the walk back when we come back through.
Yep.
And then yeah, off to the next adventure. Here we go. Yeah. You can't see any people on it. And into the darkness. It's actually quite eerie. No, you can get a bit of light here. So what you can't see, I don't know if the GoPro does it justice, but there's like millions of little green LED lights through the trees, and a heap of all those lanterns are lit up. There's heaps of blue LEDs everywhere. So we'll keep going, but hopefully we'll get some better shots of it later. Shining under the trees. A little bit brighter here, but getting around on the high part that we did, the 20-metre high part, there's LED lights strung up all around, so hopefully it gets a little bit better for the camera. But it is really beautiful with those lanterns and all the little green LEDs and
So pretty.
now up into the high part with the LEDs. You ready? amazing how the mind works, just knowing you're up higher.
Yeah.
Like,
Even though
it's the same damage whether you fall from here or the other height. That whole walkway one was on a lean to the left. I don't know if you noticed that. Right, down we go to the stairs. Back into the green LED lights. I wish this camera would show it the way we see it. My hands are frozen.
Yeah, so are mine.
So, yeah, I don't think the camera did that justice. But
No,
I highly recommend it at
absolutely.
night time. It is raining a little bit, but it just added to the experience. But yeah, beautiful LED strobe lighting and
Yep.
and little green LEDs, millions of green LEDs to simulate little like glow yeah.
Firebugs. Or...
Go bugs, whatever they are, glow flies. And yeah, and then just lights all around the walkways. There were some real dark patches which added to the experience, and then the LEDs through the high section.
Yeah.
Amazing, eh?
Yep.
Right, crack on. Yeah. Highly recommend.
Beauty.
Well done. So, I'm not going to try to pronounce it because I don't want to muck it up, but this is where we are. Volcanic Valley. And that's a little tour that we can go on. We're doing a self-guided tour, I think. So I've only got about, gone up to 50% of battery in the GoPro. So we'll try to get through this the best we can. Just going down into the little cafe and that there, just to see if we can buy tickets, because I'm sure there's some sort of tickets we have to buy. So, we just have to stop and have a quick coffee. Might get that map out, Mum, and just throw it up on this thing. So there's a few different things you can do. It's a self-guided tour, or there's other tours and boat tours and guided tours, but we're going to do the self-guided tour, and they explain it to you all at the shop there. And they give you this map. So there's a couple of different, can you put your hand on this? So there's a couple of different spots you can get picked up from, but essentially this is the sort of walking track. And you stop at all the sort of geothermal sections. This is the Inferno Crater, which is the one you see on all the ads and stuff, and on Google. Then you can do this extended part in the black here, or you can keep sort of cruising around all the way up to bus stop 2, and then all the way up to bus stop 3, and then where the lake tours start, take you out on canoes and boats in the lake. And then there's a timetable for when the buses come up and come back. But we're going to make our way up to the Inferno Crater, check that out, and then just go to bus stop 1 and see if we can catch the 3:10 bus home. It was about I think it's about $44.
I think so.
$44 each an adult for this tour, and you can sort of go at your own pace and stop wherever you want, but spin you around and show you how we go. Oh well, I don't know if you can't really see that, but way down there in the distance, right there, is one of the geothermal pockets or lakes. Luckily this one, it's all mostly downhill.
And we get bussed
And
back.
then we get a bus back, so They did explain there's about 60 steps going up to the Inferno crater, so check that out. Bit of a drop off down to our left, and looks like a bit of a lookout coming up. Oh, what does it say number 2 on the map there, Mum?
Number 2 on the map? Oh, I'm up to 3 there. 2, Southern Crater. The southernmost crater formed in the 1886 eruption. 50 metres deep.
So these are all craters from the volcanic eruption.
Yeah.
So we didn't say 50 metres deep. I'd say probably
Ducks like it.
yeah, 50 metres from maybe the edge where the
No, 50 metres in water depth,
in the water. You
I'd
reckon?
say.
Wow. Yeah, so those little waypoints, and then you flip the map open. You can track your progress. Gives you times between stops and everything, so pretty well thought out, I think.
Good drop there. Panorama, beautiful views of Echo Crater and Frying Pan Lake. Echo Crater was formed on 10th of June 1886 and has been the site of many activities since then. Echo Crater. Wow, it's really hot down there. Look at the steam.
Too sure if you can see that on the camera, but there's quite a bit of steam actually coming off the water, but then up on the side of the mountain there, it's actually coming out of the rock.
Yeah, so that must be vents.
Yeah, venting out of the top of the rock there. I think we go past it down on the next thing, so it's a better trip. You just got to do a little bit of a lean back the whole way down, stepping down the hill. But as you can see, like coming down closer to the lake now, you can see the steam come off, hopefully on the camera there. Oh, wow. It's actually so much more prominent when you get down close to it. Like just really sort of steaming. I guess it's gas,
Yeah,
steam.
gases.
See if we can get it.
It smells not too bad, but
No,
you can
I
smell
reckon we're upwind though.
probably.
So I think the wind's going that way, so if you were downwind, you'd probably be gagging.
Oh, look at the edge here. It's all coming out of the edges.
It doesn't do it justice, but there's actually quite a lot of noise coming out of it. Like you can hear just down in this corner here where sort of all the steam's coming out. You can hear it. You can hear it bubbling, and then sort of over in the distance, it's like being next to a highway. There's probably a highway on the other side of the mountain, but you can hear it. It's just like a sort of droning sort of sound. You can hear the gas coming off, the steam coming off the water. What's actually cool is like over there, like that's actually just like straight up venting out of the rock.
Trinity Terrace eruption site, the bubbling area about 10 metres from the lake shore to the right of the point below you. So it must be down in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Was the site of the Trinity Terrace eruption in February 1973. Mud from this 15-minute eruption, which happened during the night, was sprayed over an area more than 100 metres across.
Wow.
It was one of the largest eruptions at Echo Crater since 1917. It's also the most recent. View the sweep of prostate Kanuka on the terrace below, which has been recolonised since the 1973 eruption.
You can see just up on the hill there, that we actually walked down here, so I'll show you a bit more there, but that's just venting straight out of the rock face.
Yeah.
It honestly, it sounds like you're at the beach.
Yeah, with waves.
Like it just sounds like
rushing
there's an ocean there, just with waves crashing into the beach. It's actually quite loud. Very interesting. You're walking down, when you get closer down to the crater where the lake is, you actually feel how deep the crater is. But down here, it's actually so much warmer.
Yeah, it
like
is.
You can feel the heat coming off the water. And where I was pointing down before onto that rock face, it was like venting out. It's actually so high. You don't really realise it till you get down this low. Well, this is just venting right out beside us here.
There's bubbles everywhere in the water.
Yeah. That's a big crater. You just imagine the energy that produced when like a volcanic eruption happens and parts of it come down and make craters like this. Well, I suppose it's from where it erupts from underneath that it
creates the
create the hole.
Out of the hole.
And then these geothermal pockets just sort of bubble away for forever, I gather. Hey? Yeah, you can really feel the heat now that we're sort of upwind a little bit more. And a bit of smell.
It's called Cathedral Rocks. This steaming monolith was completely changed in shape by the Frying Pan Lake eruption of 1st of April 1917, and its residual pinnacles afterwards deserved a new name. The massive rhyolic, lava composing it is at least 60,000 years old, much older than Whakarewarewa volcano.
So that's what that's those steaming cathedral rocks there. It's amazing. It's just like this, just venting straight out of the rock face, and now all this water down here is just bubbling, just constantly bubbling. Wow, it's just like
Bubbling up like crazy.
feels like underneath the rock face, it's just pools of water just bubbling away. Oh, in the smoke sucks. Oh. I'm going in. Sacrifice for the footage. Oh. Oh. The things I do for you explorers. It's quite quite a profound sound, isn't it? Like,
it is. It's really...
it sounds angry, bubbling. And 15.
Warned not to stand there, but they were washed to their deaths on 30th of August 1903 when the geyser suddenly erupted.
Ooh. Yep, we might back up. There's apparently a couple of people in this spot were warned not to stand there and stood too close to a geyser and got washed away and demised. You say? Right, so we're coming up to a big stair section where I'm up to, what was the?
Inferno crater.
Inferno crater. Bit of botany information for avid botanists. Huh? Oh wow.
Look at all the green
Little.
algae, so there must be a lot of nutrients in it.
Little wee guys are there.
Yeah.
Now we start to climb.
Oh. 2 minutes if you're healthy.
2 minutes of hell.
Evidently there's about 60 steps, we were told.
Wow.
Oh, how blue is it?
And that's a crater. It is like electric blue, eh?
Sure is.
So it rises.
Yeah.
So it's like
It's rainfall.
so 35 degrees Celsius when it's at its low level like this, and then it
Right.
and then it rises, and it gets to 75 degrees Celsius and it bubbles over and then it overflows down that chute.
Oh, I thought they said the rainwater filled it. Wow.
Overflows down that chute all the way down to that creek that we saw before.
Yeah.
Crater
Amazing.
from an eruption. Pretty full on, eh?
Okay.
Nature can do that sort of stuff. I don't know what makes it so blue. It uses white rock underneath.
Yeah.
This is the little overflow section. When that inferno crater bubbles over and gets too hot, it overflows down here. And that overflow chute that we saw before comes all the way down into this sort of little creek system. So doing okay with GoPro battery, got about 70% left. So, but the weather looks like it's starting to sprinkle a little bit and it's starting to get a little bit grey and a bit cool. So we'll get to the bus stop 1, and then we'll wait about 20 minutes or something for the bus. And I'll save the GoPro camera the GoPro battery for, let's see if we get some good shots to the bus stop. Oh yeah, like that. Just a random little puddle that's bubbling away. It's crazy that this is all naturally forming, eh? It's just venting out the... Obviously the walkways and the boardwalks aren't naturally forming, but just all this sort of creek system just all naturally forming from that big inferno crater, just bubbling over and then it finding the path of least resistance down the hill and just creates this massive sort of creek system, just carves it out into the rock over what I can imagine would be, you know, many years. So cool.
The heat must really help the plants around grow.
Yeah, everything's just like lush and green and moss and everything everywhere. It'd be different than Australia when you see, I suppose, rainforest sections and stuff like that, but we're just not used to seeing so much lush green everywhere. And no snakes to tread on.
Yeah. That was a good walk.
Probably want to get here in the morning if you want to do the full tour all the way up to the lake, and then there's the boat tours and canoe tours and stuff on the lake as well. But we got it pretty late in the afternoon. The weather's not looking crash hot, so we'll leave it there, I think.
Yep.
Well, thanks for joining us, everyone. Our first video, well, my first video from New Zealand, so a little bit different dynamic. But you know, as I said, I'll start getting around and showing you a few things. Probably won't be any camping or anything for a while, but as I sort of start exploring, I'll certainly bring you with me. Thanks, Mum, for coming over.
That's all right. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, so Shane will keep sort of pumping out some vids from over in Australia. He's got some cool things, his new camper trailer and a few other things to show off. And I've got the whole of New Zealand to show off. So at some point I'll get down to the South Island with a couple of mates and do some hectic forward driving and that sort of stuff they're into. And a few things later on in the year that I want to tackle. But yep, that was the first New Zealand video, and thanks for joining us, and welcome to the new split country sort of deal across Tasman explore mode. Excellent. Make sure you hit like, subscribe and a little notification bell to keep up with all of our videos, and appreciate all the support. Thanks.